Welcome back to a little update video today. We are talking today about AMC, GME, BYND, SOUN, SOFI, car, and SPY. If you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal method. The explanation video, how it works and the rules and so on, I will link at the end of the video. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. And for AMC today, just a little update for the big update where everything is in with price target, 1 bar squeeze, 2 bar squeeze, how it should look like. I also will link you the big video from last Sunday. Today we will just look what we have done on Friday. So let's zoom in. So not such a big change since the last one, but maybe a little bit confirmation. I will try to show every possibility today in, for me, very simple English. Yeah, I know, I know that it's not my main language. Yeah, my main language is German. But I'm always getting the same questions. Was this the low? Can we go lower? And then, and it's absolutely okay. But if I get so many times the same question, I'm getting the feeling I'm not explaining it good enough. So I will really try today to make it absolutely clear. So I am still bullish. Still. It's still working perfectly. AMC looks fantastic. COS looks fantastic. Only problem is GME looks like shit. Yeah, but that's later. So this is still our old main tracking. Yeah, I got a little sidetracked with this bullshit, sadly, but otherwise this is still perfect. We had our V in March 27, ran up to our A, and I was saying since then we need the 0.5, we need the 618 pullback. And right now we're sitting in between the 0.5 and the 618. And I also said I want this at least, this low, Friday the 15th. In the best case, we would already have made the higher low till last Friday, but it was already clear on Thursday. We're not getting the higher low till Friday. Not enough time. Now to the question. Could that be the bottom? Yes. Yeah, as I already said, somewhere in this range. Yeah, A is doing a 0.5, 618 pullback. Something you can bounce over, on the line, or under the lines. Yeah, so if this wasn't enough, you might drop on Monday a little bit. We are talking about cents here. Yeah, but overall, I expect a bounce next week. To make that absolutely clear, without this higher low, I'm 95% sure we are not squeezing next week. I just can't. We will come to that in a second. So if we squeeze on Monday, okay, everyone is happy. Okay? For me, no. If we're not squeezing on Monday, it doesn't matter where our bottom is. Somewhere here. Yeah. And for the quickest move, for the maximum bullish version, you would do upside till Wednesday, falling into Friday. Yeah. Say that now absolutely clear. If you're slowly grinding up here and you say, let's say you break 162 or even 175, something is wrong. Yeah. I wouldn't even say that's bullish because something is wrong. Because in my opinion, if we are finished, you really start going. Most likely even gapping. Slowly grinding up here and breaking these levels wouldn't make sense. And really, something would be wrong. I wouldn't even say, yeah, that's not bullish for me. For normal tracking, the highest point I would say is 161. The highest. I don't even think we go that high. Yeah. In the most quickest version, do this till Wednesday, fall into Friday, holding this higher low, and then your next chance for the squeeze is May 25. the slower version. We're doing this upside till next Friday. That means we're doing this upside till Friday the 22nd of May. In that case, I would say also no chance for the following week, because the following week you would do the higher low. Yeah. I want my higher low. End of story. Because I said I want to see the move in May. Yeah, and we only have 2 weeks left, right? But I also said I want to see the start of the move. If we close on, if we do that slowly, so up this week, down the following week, and we close here on, what is that, May the 29th, I'm absolutely okay that we're going into the first week of June. Okay, that's still okay. 2 other ways. If we do this next week, falling in the last week of May, but we're breaking this low again, wherever it is, if it's this or a little bit lower, doesn't matter, we're making a lower low again, that's fucking bearish. For me, that's a sign it's not this year. Yeah, because then you would just do this, up again, down again. Next high low squeeze next week. Oh no. Okay, it's 100% July. No. Okay, it's 100% September. Oh no. Oh no. You know? In that case, this here was the top of 2026. Yeah, because AMC, GME, course, never squoze in June, July, August, September, October, November. Never. And I can only look at what we have done. If you say not true, because AMC squoze in 2021 in June, you're right. Yeah. But you did the first part before that. If you now tell me, okay, maybe this was the first part, okay, there's a possibility. But then your second part is not breaking over $9. You're not going over May 2024. Yeah. And next thing is, what would also be wrong? You can't even declare this as first part squeeze, because this started in March. In 2021, it started in January. It's not working. Yeah. Or you're just saying it's not one-to-one. Okay. And then we don't have to argue about it, because then it's just guessing if it's not one-to-one. Also, the absolutely bearish alternative is you are not allowed to touch $1.09, because then you really will go down. But again, even with the most bearish thinking, I don't think we will see this till August. Because as I said, AMC will look good till August. Yeah, you will slowly grinding your way down here. Yeah, and then in August you break it. Yeah, or maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later. But AMC, if it's bearish, will fall till January. Yeah, slowly. That's the sad part. Cause and GME will do that quicker, but AMC will slowly do that. Yeah. So one thing because of the higher low, because I saw so many videos and all of them are saying it hasn't to be 1-to-1. Yeah, I mean, that's why my method exists, because the Fractal, with some exceptions like Neo or Riot or Doku, yeah, it's quite never 1-to-1. Yeah, using bars pattern is most of the time a bad idea. That's why the method exists. Yeah, but there are some specific landmarks which you can't overlook. Here, my famous 1 hour chart. Left side today, then January 2021, then May 2024, and then May 2025. All have in common, all did their A. All of them. Differences: in 2021, it was a 0.5 pullback from A. In 2024, it was a perfect 6.8 pullback. And in 2025, it came close to the 0.5. So if we now bouncing between the 0.5 and the 618, we have every single possibility which exists. Yeah? We have the 0.5, the 0.618, over the 0.5. If you close between the 0.5 and the 618, we have everything. Maybe one last under the 618. So the falls are a little bit higher, a little bit lower, different. What all have in common is the fucking higher low. Every single squeeze of AMC had the fucking higher low before we went. That's why I can't miss it. I just can't. Yeah. If we go on Monday, okay, perfect. Who cares? If not, we will do this higher low. End of story. And what I also saw, because I just wanted to look, what is everyone tracking? Yeah. I saw 6 other people talking about the same thing. I mean, I think one started it and the other 5 copied it because it's just one-to-one. But this idea, yeah, that, I mean, okay, all said, this is this. Perfect. But then all of them said that this low is this low, every single one of them, and that this low we made on Friday was this low. I mean, that's not even, and of course it isn't one-to-one, but this higher low is this higher low. So for me, I only can say it's 100% wrong. Wrong. You have a tiny chance to go on Monday, but then because you're just jumping the higher low, but to say that this is a higher low, no, just no. No, sorry, no. Yeah. So I want my higher low. Also, one last thing before we go into GME. The thing is, because I also saw that a lot of that, I mean, many people are agreeing that AMC looks absolutely perfect still, but GME is not. But they don't care because GME can die, and AMC is going. And they call that fractal tracking. I'm saying it again. You have AMC, CORS, and GME. They are synchronized since 2020. There is for me no way that 1 or 2 are running and the third one is dying. There's no way for me GME is dying, but AMC is running. No. It can be after the next squeeze or big move or chat test, however you call it. Then okay. But right now, they are all in the same bullish position and go, or they are all in the same bearish position and go. The only difference would be that GME and CORS will show you that way earlier, and AMC will show you that in August. Just saying. Also, for AMC and GME, because what do I expect? I show that in GME. So for AMC to enters, still looks okay. Levels, don't touch break 109. Don't touch break 175 if you not gap it. And your next move for the next 1 or 2 weeks is this higher low. That's for AMC. Let's jump into GME. So for GME, again, also for the big update, I will link you the video from Sunday at the end. So how high, 1 part, 2 parts, and so on. Today, we just look what we have done. So for GME, it looks like shit. It really does. Yeah. For my main tracking, nothing has changed. Yeah. Our V is 2025. November, we ran up to our A over T. We are in the A pullback. And we are not allowed to touch a break 2128. Yeah. Not the 786. And we are fucking close to it. Next thing is we are running out of time. Yeah. GME really has to start moving up. Yeah. For this, I want to see a break of 26, 28 next week. and not a break of 21.30. It would be just horror. And to say that, to show that side by side, okay? Left side, 1 hour chart now. Right side, 1 hour chart, July 2020 to August 2020. And my main problem here is, because this is always the sport people are comparing it to. If you look at this, you have your V, higher lows. But one thing, even without my version, you only have higher lows. All the way up. Here's not a single lower low. Never. No lower low found here. No, no, no. So even breaking under this is still a higher low to this here. But you broke this low. That's 2021. For 2024, here is 2024. You had your V, you had your little higher low, you had your A, you had your B, you had your C. This is your A. And also here, you had no lower lows. Not a single one. Yeah. And the next thing is, if you take from this V to this A, you bounce near the 0.5. We're already way too low for this. That's my main problem really right now. Yeah. The only way, because you know me, when I get too one-sided, I always looking for an alternative. So the only way to make this in any way bullish, yeah, is you break this. If you break it, I mean, if you bounce on Monday, forget it. Yeah, fine. Yeah. But if you're breaking on Monday and we still need a bullish alternative, then this whole thing is higher low. Yeah. In that way, we even have to break it, because this would be your A and this is your V under A. Yeah, and this would be higher low. Yeah. And then your no-no line is 1961. But I mean, really, this is the last goalpost moving no-no line. Yeah. Anything under 1961, no, there is no alternative anymore then. Just no. You are not allowed to break this low. Yeah. Doesn't matter who is saying that, nah, it's still bullish. No. No. It's not really working with our T because you broke it. Yeah, you know. But the main problem with this is time. I mean, the break of 21.30, easily possible in pre-market. Yeah. The main problem with this move, yeah, if we would say we're doing 2024, yeah, in that way we would be at April 2022. Because if this is just higher low, you still have to do a pullback, breakout retest, and then go. And that in 2 weeks, I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I would be at least be bearish if we break 21.30 on Monday or next week. What I can't see at all is doing this the whole week. If we do that the whole week, yeah, and that's my main tracking, then this is just T. Yeah. If you're not, whatever you're doing, if you bounce here or if you might maybe bounce here, if you not break 26, 28 next week for GME, in my opinion, the main memes, AMC, GME, and COS are dead. They are simply dead. Yeah. GameStop would show you the first sign, yeah, that it's not this year, and it will take longer. One thing, how can GameStop do this and go up to its A? Why in that case, if we're still bullish, why would AMC still do its higher low? And I will show that side by side. Also, to just show that AMC, COS, and GME always move together. Yeah? And it makes no sense that one is dying and the other one is running. also to show that they are peaking together since 5 years. Yeah? So left side 4 hour AMC 2021, right side GME 4 hour, also 2021 of course. And here you just have to look. We would do something similar to January 14, 2021 for AMC. We have here our A, and here's our higher low. Look what GME on the right side has done back in 2021 when AMC was doing its higher low. You see that? January 14th. Here. GME was already running into the squeeze. During that time, AMC was still doing its higher low shit. And in the end, yeah, they peaked at the same day. Here. At the same day. Is it the same day? Yeah. Here. Same day. January 27. Same day, same peak. The same for 2024. Here's 2024 on the right side. In the, well, 1 second. Here's also for AMC 2024. Yeah. And here also, in the moment AMC was starting its higher low in 2024, look what GME has done. Here. GME was in May 1st and ran up. And that's why I really want to see fucking GME running next week. Yeah. Because it starts to make no sense other than being bearish. And also in 2024, see, they both peaked at the same time. For me, there's no way that you're bullish on AMC, but bearish on GME. Yeah. If GME or AMC, some of them are bearish and breaking not to break levels, both will die this week, this year. There's no way around it. They are moving together. So the GME tracking is a little bit wonky, but whatever we do, I want to see upside for GME next week. I mean, for AMC also, but I want to see massive upside for GME next week. Yeah, massive upside. I don't care what news, but massive upside. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not moving the goalpost in June, July, August. Yeah? Because that would be the next fucking thing you hear. Okay, it wasn't May, it's 100% true. Okay, but now it has to be July. Or something is terrible, terrible wrong. And then it has to be August, or you are coping. Yeah? No. May. Maybe first week of June, if we see some moves. If not, it's not this year. Yeah, we did that already in 2025. Yeah, we squeeze May, June, for first week of June, or we have to look at other stocks. Okay, let's look at something better. BYND. So also for BYND. Big update video. I will link you from the last Sunday video at the end of this video. Today we just look what we have done. So let's zoom in. And I mean, right now, picture perfect. First of all, I said I see this A pullback till Friday the 15th. Maybe we already did the low on Thursday. Yeah. I also said we will come down to the 0.5618. So we are now under the 618. We are still over the 786. Perfect. We didn't do the micro higher low yet. Just to say that absolutely clear, this is not the finish of the micro higher low. If we have to do one, you still have to come down to 77 cents. Yeah, I mean, that's 2 cents down to finish the higher low. But to say this, we don't have to do. This is really micro tracking. If you touch or break 25 cents, then this is just little t. It's not bad. Yeah, you would just need to find the V and then you go up. As long as you're not touching 70 cents, everything is fine. But I would say there's a good chance that this was the V, yeah, because this low to this top gave you May 13 to May 15. We should go up. So what would come next? There are only two possibilities. First, we do something stupid. Yeah, as always. You can do something stupid when you finish a ladder. So Monday doing something stupid and we just squeeze to whatever number. Yeah? If you're not doing something stupid and we just go slowly, yeah? Your next target is small b, and small b is on this trend line and it would reject around $5-6. Then you do your 0.5 pullback, and when you finish this, you can do again something stupid. If you're not doing something stupid here, you will just slowly going to your little c, which is your macro A. Yeah? That big macro A. This big number. Yeah? This A has to be over 15, under 43. Yeah? This A, as always, you will come up here. In my opinion, this is July, August. Doesn't matter if it's lower, high, or peak. Yeah? If you're not doing something stupid. And then you will do your normal 618 pullback. The same we are doing right here. Difference is this took days, weeks. This pullback here will take weeks, months. Yeah? To make that absolutely clear. It's the same like here, same like here, same like here, same like here. So if we're not doing something stupid, we will peak somewhere in here this summer. Doing, I would imagine, I mean, we can look at the end of year, the breakout retest, and next year we could do B. Maybe earlier, but this pullback will take some time. Yeah, just to make that absolutely clear. Or we're just doing something stupid. I mean, then who cares? Yeah. Again, still looks fucking great. Also, BYND doesn't care about AMC and GME. Absolutely not. So let's even say if we are bearish for AMC and GME, BYYND peaked in July 2019 and made its lower high when AMC and GME squeeze. So it's one of the stocks you can say if AMC and GME is not going this year, BYYND is the old shooting order and went before them. So as long as you're not touching 70 cents, perfect. Next one is Hound. I don't know anymore if it's SOFI or SOUN, which is was a wish from someone of you, but I wanted to show SOUN and SOFI anyway. Anyways, for me, short term, it's for me, I have a bullish and a bearish version. Long term, no, short term, I only have a bearish version. Long term, I have a bullish and a bearish version, but come to that later. So let's start. IPO, C, then knife, yeah, low high, midpoint, T, V. We did a perfect little higher low here under the main trend line. We broke out over our T, which is our A. We did a wonderful 618 bounce, micro higher low, ran up to our B over M. Then we did a perfect 0.5, 0.618 pullback. That was a deep B pullback. And then we broke all-time highs. Old tracking. So our lower high should be somewhere in here. You drop down. And in my opinion, this is still our perfect midpoint. We are way slower than IPO because you would compare this to this, and this was way quicker, but as always, Fractal is getting bigger and slower, and then you broke down again. Technically, your M is finished here. Yeah? So you would be right now here. Yeah? So the point I want to make it. I really think we are just in this candle here. You see this little bounce here? Whoop. I would still think we have to come lower. Yeah. But this could easily be just here. We don't have to do it one-to-one, as I'm saying. You also have the possibility that you still come a little bit up. Yeah. It doesn't have to look that way. Yeah. But wherever you reject here, and it looks quite good that you're already rejecting here, would just mean downside. So the question is, to where? Yeah. The problem is we don't know what the first fractal was and what the second one is. Yeah. What I mean with that, this could easily be macro A and this macro B. Same like this could easily be macro B and this macro C, or higher, low, and A. Yeah. That's the problem because it's young. Yeah. I mean, okay, 3 years, but not a lot of price action. So what are our targets? First, if this is a macro B, and this was macro A, your first target to bounce is 480. If this is an A, and then you just go up. As you already saw here, your B could also go to the 618. So somewhere in this range would be your bullish bounce. Yeah. Which would be the same if this is just A. Just saying, because then you also have the same ranges. What if this is just high or low, or even C? Well, in that case, you really will drop. In that case, you have to go V under A. And your V under A is 151. Yeah. And I mean, you could even do this here. Yeah. So that means you would come now something like that, making a lower high, and then your fucking knife would be the same like this. Yeah. So the main problem here is there is no really confirmation. Yeah. So you could risk it to play short, or you're waiting for the bounces here, here, and here. Because the thing is, it's a T. You should at least drop under this. And then you just have to look, you wait for the higher low here. Yeah? That would be the safest way to play it. Just have it on your watch list. Yeah? And let's say you see a bounce at 323. Then you're just waiting for the higher low to be finished, and then you go in. Same for the 786. You wait for the higher low, and then you go in. Be the safest play, or you just short it. But my main thinking for SOUN is bearish. Why ever? Yeah, whatever comes out for this company. Good. Next one, SOFI. For SOFI, I'm even more bearish. Sorry. It's a very old tracking, but I don't even have to touch it because nothing changed. For SOFI, IPO ran up to its C, lower high, midpoint T, V. Perfect high low, breakout of the trend line, went over T. This is our A. Wonderful 0.618 pounds. Then we went over M. Perfect B. For this perfect B, we again, kind of the same like SOUN. We bounced at the 618, and then we broke all-time highs. Yeah. And the thing is, in my opinion, you already did a lower high. Yeah? This is kind of tricky because I would compare this to this. And you see, this was way bigger than here. So you are kinda going slow, quicker. And that's normally a bad sign. So if I'm wrong here, yeah, and especially here you have levels. If you bounce here, yeah, so if you're not touching $40.88, in my opinion, you're right now somewhere in here. So in that case, you will come up again. Something like this. Yeah. So this past pattern is that doesn't have to be one-to-one. just to say that. But you still would have to do your lower high. Yeah. And if we do that, I'm pretty confident we're really doing this triple top. Yeah. Quite easy. The but, the big but. In my opinion, if you break 1488, this was just a lower high. And this was already midpoint. Yeah. And you're not repeating the triple top. Then this was midpoint. And oh man. Same as a SOUN, you will drop. Yeah. Also, it's the same problem like SOUN. We don't know if this was an A and this an B, or higher low and this an A, and so on and so on. So we have quite the same interesting levels, because your first target to bounce is $11.83, $12. Yeah. The problem we also saw here, the B can go lower if this is a B. And you can also go to the 786, 618. That means 920, somewhere in here. Doesn't matter if this is A or B. The only thing, if this is higher low or C, you will drop to your V under A, which is 589. So here the same thing, like SOUN. You can play the downside, which can make money, or you're just waiting for these levels and you wait for the higher low to hold and go long. Because if you bounce here, it doesn't matter what, you're breaking all-time highs after that, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't see this thing dying. It's a it's the same for SOUN. It's a beautiful fractal. Nice up and downs, nice fibs. Absolutely nice. So this is a good stock for the future. Yeah. Let's wait for the price action. Good. Next one, car, because it was a wish from you, from someone of you. If I think we can go up again. First of all, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what I think for a car. Yeah. Just a little warning, no financial advice. For me, doesn't matter if you have perfect bullish, perfect bearish tracking. Car has no entry now, not anymore. Doesn't matter if calls or puts. The prices are way too high, and it's way too unclear where you are. Yeah, but I will show my tracking. So we have here our small A, small B, peak, knife down, coming up again to a lower high. Here is your M, somewhere in this knife candle is your T. First fractal finish. And in my opinion, there's a good chance that this was just higher low. Yeah, we don't really know that, yeah, but still. Then you had your V. You ran up again to the next peak. This is your little A. Also, perfect, near the 0.5. Then you got the bounce. To these two drops will come in a second. You ran up to your little B. And you did a 0.5 pullback. Yeah. And if I have seen that, because I didn't look, I would even play this shit. But yeah, you can't see everything. And then you bounced, went over B. For me, this is very, very likely this was C. Just saying. So main problem now is, okay, fine. Then we can play puts. No, that's the main problem. You can't even play calls or puts. Yeah. First of all, the stock is terrible to play. Yeah, because you have to imagine. I don't know if you watched it. If you would have bought puts here before the rally, up here, these puts were up 500%. Up, you know, was terrible. You couldn't even buy puts up here. Yeah, you with this run, you could make money with puts and calls at the same time. Stupid. Why can't we play puts now? Yeah, just look at it. You have a top here. a low here. You have a top here and a low here. You have a top here, a low here. In my opinion, you have a top here. Yeah. Main problem with this is, if you have bought puts here, you could have played this. But if you would have holded this, your puts went worthless. Why? Not because you went up here. No, it's the timing. From this top to this top, it took you 4,000 days. That's 11 years. Yeah. If you look at this top, which is, look at it. It's this thing is 1-to-1 with this thing. Yeah. This was a little bit shorter because it's just little a. This was C. Yeah. This is just little a, but also this took you 2,000 days. And even the pullback of B took you 1,200 days. So it gets at least smaller, but the problem is this is just little a, little b. Yeah. If I'm right, we finished a letter, whatever letter it is. Yeah. I think this is easily be an A. Yeah. So your next target, your next V would be $6. But I would say this would take at least 800 days. Same as here. Same as here. So what, I mean, we could just look at how this would look like. So let's look. I'll make that accurate. Something like this. You really want to play this? Yeah. For me, the car is unplayable. This was a nice play. Yeah. But right now, it's unplayable. The possibility that you're doing a two-part? No. Because why? My only question is always, why? Yeah. If someone is coming to me, just to make that absolutely clear, if someone is showing me a stock or is saying this guy said it could be a two-part squeeze, the first thing, I'm looking at the stock. So what did we do in the past? We never did a two-part. Never. On this stock, there's a two-part. You're slowly running to the top or you're just peaking to the top. But here was never a two-part. You always do your top, slow fucking downtrend with a knife at the end. Slowly grinding up, small downtrend, knife. Quicker uptrend, slow moving downtrend with a knife at the end. Because also, this is also some kind weird thing of these two things. Then you're running up to a peak. So what comes next? Maybe you get a little bounce here. But in the end, you're just doing this now over years again. Or at least 1 year. There's nowhere in this stock since IPO. Also here, perfect. You know, peak, knife. Yeah. Nothing on this stock is showing me a two-part. Nothing. Could be wrong. Yeah. I won't touch this. Just saying. Okay. Last one, SPY. And for SPY, I really have, sadly to say, I was so fucking wrong. Really. And I'm really sorry for that. Because I said, there's a very good possibility that we're getting 750 on May 13. Yeah, Wednesday. And sadly, we made 749.48 on Thursday. Yeah, my failure. Sorry. Sorry, just a little joke. But it's just fucking crazy. Yeah. I think that the last video I said it was here. I don't know anymore. I have to look it up, but at least it was 2 weeks. That we will get last week or this week. Yeah. So May 15 to May 13, we're getting our 750 mark. We nearly got it. Or did we got it? Nearly 40 cents. Yeah. Okay. So, perfect. What is coming next? Thing is, my main prediction for this is we will go down now. Yeah, I mean, we are going 44 days up. Yeah, and as I said in the last video, this was war. My opinion, now comes peace. It's stupid, I know, but war is bullish, peace is bearish. The only danger here is this now the pullback, or is this just a little pullback like these stupid little nothing pullbacks? Yeah, because if you bounce here, I would say confirmation for this would be a break of 732. Yeah, here at this level. If you bounce somewhere in here, you will go up. Yeah, what is then the next target? Well, this is just middle A. Yeah, middle A, also A can pull back to 0.5 or 618. If you bounce here and still go up, well, then your next target, give me my fib, is 790, because here's the 0.5. Yeah, because this target, the 750, wasn't a guess. It's just you have this broadening wedge from January till March. You had your V. If this is an A, you want a pullback, a breakout retest of this wedge. As I said, A 0.5 or 618. So in that case, if you're still not finished and you need more, you have to go up so high that you're doing a 618. That would mean 690. Yeah. But I would pretty confident that this was the peak. Yeah. Next thing, you will drop pretty quick. Yeah, 2-3 weeks. Yeah, maybe even quicker, because I would compare it to October 2025. This was 8 hours, 4%. Yeah. What we are looking for is 9%. So 2 days, 3, maybe. Just say. The important part is, if you don't want to play this risk, which I can understand, is this point. Our target is 690 to 680 or 88 over the broadening wedge. And here the big decision is made. Are you bouncing here and going into a multi-year bull market? Because really, this is just A. Somewhere in here is B, and somewhere up here is C. Just saying. Yeah. Or are you breaking under this wedge? Then, as I said, you can play every day put. Because even if you get a bounce and you lose on a 1 day, overall you will win, because this is market crash territory. If you fall under the broadening wedge again, that's fucking bearish. But we will see. So let's see. Yeah, I would look more for downside. The main problem, I bought puts on Friday. My main problem because of SPY is VIX right now. Because I'm kind of bearish on VIX. That's my main problem right now. Because just for small tracking, just for a little explanation, for the easiest one, if SPY goes up, VIX goes down. If SPY goes down, VIX goes up. Yeah? The most simple one. It has a little bit more to do with volatility, but it's the most simple way. We have our peak here in August 2024, low high, midpoint. And this midpoint is not finished yet, because the midpoint started here. So you have to go under 1368. Yeah. And if we micro track M, we have our C, low high, in my opinion, midpoint. And this on Friday was our T. So in that case, VIX should knife, or at least go slowly down on Monday. But that would also mean that SPY bouncing again on Monday. That is something I really can't get in my head, because you can't be bearish on VIX but bearish on SPY at the same time. So if this is true, you will bounce on Monday. The only way to make this work is that we didn't got small M yet. Here will go up, fill this gap, which also would make sense. And let's make this green candle. Yeah. So you're doing this 1 week, 2 weeks of SPY falling, or even maybe just 2 days. And then you will fall down. Yeah. Finishing your M, coming up to a little T, and then you will knife to under 13. And then you fucking bounce. And if we do that, yeah, I would say this is the knife to 680, 690 for SPY. This is the bounce to be. And whatever we're doing then, yeah. But that would be the bullish way. Let's see. SPY will get interesting. Especially, I want to know if I'm fucking right. I just want to know. Because I said, first of all, last week we're getting 750. And I said we will knife because of peace news. I just want to know if I'm right. Just for fun. Okay. Good. I think, did I forget something? I don't think so. Okay. As always, explanation video, playlist here, big update video back here. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more, give me an abo. I will wish you a good weekend still, whenever you watch it, and let's see what happens Monday. See ya.